everyone, this is Jairo Morales from The Grind Fitness, and welcome to my channel. On this channel, you're going to learn how to take care of your body while we do this wonderful sport called Jiu-Jitsu. Everything from joint strength training classes to mobility classes, as well as yoga and many other professionals to teach you what is the best path for you and your Jiu-Jitsu journey. If you haven't already, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. You know what to do. Share this with somebody if you think this might help the community to be able to take care of their body for their journey on Jiu-Jitsu. Oos, guys. Hope to see you on the mat. Wow, lots of mistakes there with the intro. Sorry about that, guys. It was actually my bad. I'm the one that was kind of half taking care of myself. So what's going on? How's everybody's week this week? I hope everybody is training more than normal. I know I was. I just finished doing a seminar with Gianni Grippo. He was down here for a couple days, so he did a seminar at Black House MMA and a seminar at 10th Planet, West Palm Beach. So I put in like 10 6 or 7 minute rounds yesterday and the same today. So my body is a little bit bagged up. But today we're going to work on spine. So we're basically just going to do a whole bunch of stuff to like move your spine in many different directions. Approximately about 20-25 minutes, give or take. Just want you to kind of go into this why we call it Recovery Sundays. Is really think about like kind of relaxing when we're doing all this stuff. So first thing I want you to do is kind of get into child's pose or turtle, whatever you want to call it, with your toes, your laces touching the mat, and just kind of sit back onto your calves and just extend your arms out in front of you. And then just take a couple breaths here. Adjust your knees if you need to, if you need them wider. Do whatever feels good. When you're ready, windshield wiper your feet over to the right. Reach your arms over to the right and try to sit back and extend the left side of your body. We're doing a little bit of lateral movement with our spine to warm up. And back to center. And switch to the other side. Windshield wiper to the left. Reach out with the left. Reach out to the left, excuse me. And then just kind of stretch out the right side of your body. Really reach. Come back to center. Take another breath here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do what are called kneeling spinal waves. From this position, what I want you to think is that you're contracting all the musculature on the front part of your body, or your anterior side, and that muscle contraction is causing you to be pulled forward. So this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to round our spine, and that musculature is now pulling me forward. Once we get to that about 50% mark, we're going to relax the front part of our body, and then we're going to start contracting the back side of our body and looking up towards the ceiling. You're going to shoot back and then repeat. So here we go. Take a couple more breaths here. Reset yourself. Take your time with these. Nice and slow. Here we go. Go ahead and round your spine. Flex. Maximally flex your spine as dragging your musculature in the front to pull you forward. Once you get past that 50% mark, relax the front part of your body and start contracting the back side of your body. And then repeat. Back to starting position. Shoot back. Couple more. Take your time. Be intentional with your movement. Don't just move to move. Don't let gravity do its thing. Or momentum. Think slow and controlled. Slow makes you smooth. Smooth makes you fast. Back again. Last one and relax. Forehead down on the mat for just another breath or two. From there, walk your hands underneath you. Get up into tabletop. Tuck your toes. Remember, when you're in tabletop, knee to the hands, spread the fingers, then put the fingers down, then shift your weight forward. From this position, we're just going to do a little bit of a forearm stretch just to give our spine a break. Turn our hands around. Stretch out this front part of your forearm. Start doing a little bit of baby circles. Even though I've been doing a lot of no-gi, my fingers are still kind of tense from just the no-gi grips, which are completely different than the gi grips. I feel more stress on my forearms from the no-gi grips and more stress on my fingers from the gi grips. I don't know if anybody understood that. It sounded really confusing as I was saying it. Turn the hands back around. Then face your palms up. We're going to do wrist lock push-ups here. I'm going to turn to the camera real quick. What I want you to do is put your fingers, spread your fingers as if you're backhanding the actual mat. And you're going to bend at the elbow. And then you're going to, when you extend your elbow straight, you're going to make a fist with your hand and try to curl your fingers towards your forearm. As you go down, spread your fingers. And then as you come up, you're controlling and trying to squeeze your fingers closed. Okay, you're basically wrist locking yourself. Most people don't work this musculature when you should, especially with how much grips and many forms of what we do because we're grapplers. This kind of stuff is good for our grips. Plus, if someone decides to go prison rules on you and tries to take your wrist home with them, you know the sensation because you've been here before on when to bail. And relax. Shake that off. Whew, that was intense. Back to tabletop. From here, we're going to go ahead and put our laces down. We're going to sit back onto our calves. We're going to walk our hands forward, towards our knees. From here, we're going to do the same kind of cat-cow position, but what we're doing by sitting in this position is we're limiting the amount of rotation or space that the lower back has so that we can exaggerate the motion from the upper back. So I'm going to show you the first one, and then we're going to do just 3 in total. So these are very, very few numbers, but more focus on how we're doing it. So the goal is we start with our pelvis. We tuck our pelvis under, and then we think we're like kind of rolling up our spine. So we're trying to go up 1 vertebrae at a time. As you talk, you keep talking, and you keep rolling, and you keep rolling, and you try to exaggerate the upper back until you're forced to bring the chin down. From this position, you keep the chin glued to your chest, and then you start pushing the tailbone up. And you exaggerate the tailbone out. You roll up your mid-back, your upper back, and then you bring the head last until you're forcing the chin to stay at the top. So here we go. Get into this position and start tucking the pelvis under. Try to keep your chin up as long as possible as you tuck that pelvis under. Roll up your spine. Keep resisting looking down till you absolutely have to. Bring it down. Chin pin to your chest. Then start unwinding. Start pushing that tailbone to the ceiling. Nice and slow. One vertebrae at a time. And exaggerate the extension. If you're doing this right, with each rep, you're going to feel an extra 10 or 15% effort. Hold that chin to the ceiling. Tuck the pelvis under. Go at your own pace. And last one. Whew. That was intense. Get up off your knees or off your calves, tuck your toes, get back into tabletop here. Take a second here. Whew, that was intense. From there, go ahead and drop down onto your elbows. Interlock your fingers in front of you. Bring the top of your head as if you're cupping your own head. Try to round a little bit of your upper back and then walk your knees into the position that feels stable. From this position, we're going to do the same cat-cow, but now we're limiting the upper back instead of the lower back. So from here, we're going to do the same exact motion. So we're going to tuck the pelvis under and try to roll the spine up towards the pubic bone until we can't go anymore. And then you're going to reverse. Tailbone to the ceiling. Max that out. Start focusing on extension. Really push that tailbone to the ceiling. Then reverse. Tuck the pelvis under. Take your time. If you're doing this right, you should feel almost like an ab workout. And I also feel tension here, right on this hip line here. Last one for me. Remember, we're only doing 3 of these. Slow and control. Woo. Back to tabletop. That was intense. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put both of them together. So we're going to do the same motion that we did now that we have information, because we exaggerated it in each direction. We exaggerated the bottom, we exaggerated the top. Now we're going to combine it all together. We're going to do a regular cat-cow. So again, remember, meat of the hands, pressing into the mat, separate your fingers, put your fingers down, shift your way forward, crook of the elbow facing forward. From there, walk your knees underneath your hips, bend your knees or flex your knees, curl your toes, put your toes down on the mat. From there, you're going to do the same thing. You start tucking the pelvis under, and you start rolling up the spine. Taking your time. Remember, with the head, you want to keep it either pinned or extended. Take your time with these. Roll up the spine. Really exaggerate that extension. Chin to the ceiling. Keep it extended. Start tucking the pelvis. Try to keep that head up as long as possible until you absolutely have no other choice. Reverse. Unwind it. Take your time. Really extend those posterior muscles. Get them to cramp and work. And last one, chin to the ceiling, tucking the pelvis under. And relax. Sit back into starting position or child's pose. Extend your arms. Drop your forehead to the ground. Do nothing for just a second. Okay. Come back up to tabletop. We're going to start with the right leg. All I want you to do is extend the right leg back behind you. Bring it to your chest. Right leg back behind you. Bring it to your chest. Right leg back behind you. Bring it to your chest. Hold, and then I want you to karate kick out to the right side. From there, come on up so that you're basically fully extending the right leg as straight as possible, pushing your posture up at the same time. From there, we're just going to do side bends. So just slide down your arm and extend up and over. Don't just bend. I want you to think that you're extending. Then you're just rotating back and forth. Really think side body. We're basically moving our spine side to side here. Couple more. And bring your hands out in front. Go into what's called puppy pose. Just drop your forehead down and extend your arms out in front of you. From here, try to relax your chest down. From there, we're going to alternate, bringing the top of our head. We're going to lift up, bring the top of our head to the mat. And then we're going to go back to the starting position, and we're dropping our forehead down to the mat. And then again, top of the head, forehead. Each time that we bring the forehead down, think melts the chest down, extend the fingers. One last one. Hang out here for one more second. Walk your hands back underneath you. From there, weave the left arm underneath. Grab the opposite shin. And hang out here. There is no right or wrong way to do this one. What you want to try to find is that sweet spot where whatever discomfort you feel, whether it's tension or weakness somewhere or whatever, you want to try to disperse that across a larger area of your body. So find how to adjust your weight, whether you have to lean forward or you have to shift your weight back or you have to move your back foot. There's a lot of jiu-jitsu in this position. Getting comfortable here will help your jiu-jitsu. Breathe. If you have the flexibility, reach up with the right arm and basically put yourself in a Kimura and then use the Kimura grip with your hand behind your back to help you press and try to do a larger spinal twist. You can also walk your hand up overhead. You do the same thing. Slowly walk your hands underneath you again. Woo. Back to tabletop. I gotta take a second there. Let's go ahead and sit back into child's pose for just a moment. Woo. That was intense. Take a couple breaths and stay child's pose. Beautiful. Back to tabletop. And other side. So left leg back, knee to chest, left leg back, knee to chest, left leg back, knee to chest. Hold. Karate kick out to the side. Come on up. Come on up. And go back and forth. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, my cell phone is work. And it's very rude of me to have my cell phone, so I apologize for that. Back and forth. Remember, the goal here is to reach, open up this side body. Same thing here is to reach. Last one. Awesome. Come down to puppy pose. Drop your forehead down, extend your arms, adjust yourself as needed. You're going to feel different tension from one side to the other. Like I feel a dramatic difference from this side to the other. And let's alternate. Top of the head to forehead. Top of the head to forehead. Go at your own pace. Really think melt. Couple more. Slowly walk your hands underneath you. Take that right arm, weave it through, grab the left shin if you can. A lot more tension on this side compared to the other side. I have no idea why. I'm actually struggling to just be in this position. This is where breathing is important, because I can tell that the tension that I'm having right now is like a fear that my body is doing, and it's literally just kind of balling up, and it's not allowing me to like melt into the ground. And the way your body learns to trust you is through your breath. So holding positions, sometimes for a longer period of time, just practice breathing in that position. Your body then starts to kind of calm down, and then it begins to trust you. Keep trying to do that twist. If you have the capability, put yourself in a Kimura, twist yourself even more. Then slowly get yourself out of it. Back to child's pose for just a second. A lot of movement there in the spine. Coming out to samurai position. Just close your eyes for a second. Trying to take inventory of what you just finished doing. Right now, for me, my spine feels amazing. I move musculature that I don't think I've ever I've moved before. Feel my rib cage. All of us grapplers like to move. So the goal here is to move with purpose. Let's do a couple breaths together just to kind of end the class. Here we go, all the way in, all the way out. Again, all the way in, all the way out. Couple more times in and out. Last one, in and out. Loose, guys. I hope you like that. I feel amazing. I hope you do too. See you next week.